my name is Samara. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. I have to film really quickly. I'm on my lunch break right now, but this will be my introduction to my 2026. That's Roxy scratching on the cat post. You can't see her, but this will be my 2026 Project Level Up Lite introduction. I decided very late in the year, only like 2 weeks ago, I would say, at the time of me filming this, so like about mid-December, that I would be bringing this back. I originally was not going to because I just was overwhelmed, but I loved doing this so much in 2025, so I'm doing it again. How I was doing it, basically, let me start from the beginning. Project Level Up, if you don't know, was created by Sophie, who is Sophie Alexandra Hearts on YouTube. Usually you randomize a palette, start at level 1, and you would use each shade in the palette once and hit 1 pan. Once you meet those goals, you randomize another palette and you're on level 2. That means use each shade in the palette twice and hit 2 pans, so on and so forth. I did this a few years ago in 2024, and I was like not randomizing, I was just choosing, like hand selecting my palettes. And then last year I decided to do the light version because in 2024 I was panning my e.l.f. palettes, which all except for one of them had really shallow pans, so they were very easy to hit pan on. And the light version was kind of like first started by Ruth, who's Ruth Foley on YouTube, and instead of hitting pans on those select few shades, she would use them 10 times. So I thought that was much easier for me, so I did that last year, except I was only randomizing from my Dose of Colors palettes because I have so many Dose of Colors palettes. I think I have 11. It's my favorite eyeshadow brand, but I noticed I was not using them because I was panning. Like, I don't know if I would ever actually try to pan a Dose of Colors palette because the pans are so deep. But because I wasn't panning them, I was just neglecting them. So I chose my Dose of Colors palettes for last year's Project Level Up Lite, and this year I also want to kind of do the same thing but with a different brand, of course, and I chose the brand that I have the second most palettes from, which is, I'm gonna try to hold them all up at the same time. That is Sephora collection. So I did actually declutter one just like a week ago in my declutter video. So that means I have 9 palettes left. I've only ever decluttered 2 Sephora palettes. Other than that, everyone I've ever bought I have kept because I just love these so much. I think it's probably one of the most underrated eyeshadow brands that exists because everyone sleeps on Sephora collection, but except for, I would say, their holiday stuff, Sephora collection has such good products and their eyeshadows are no exception. I also want to do this a bit differently from last year, whereas last year I was only going up to level 5 and then restarting because I was pretty much just panning a bunch of 5-pan palettes, so I could not go past level 5, and then I just restarted at 1 after that. I am going to, this year, for the first time ever, try to just get through as many levels as possible. For that reason, I do have 2 3-pan palettes. There's Rosie, I didn't even notice her. For that reason, I do have these 2 3-pan palettes, and I will actually be like combining these and considering these as 1 6-pan palette. So I mean, potentially, if this has not been chosen by the time I get past level 6, that could be an issue, but I'm just hoping that's not going to happen. So for now, that's my plan, and if it happens, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So yeah, that's kind of the deal. I'm going to start with level 1 and use each shade once, except for pick 1 shade to use 10 times, and then I think that's definitely not going to take me more than a month, no matter which palette I get. And then next update, I'll definitely be rolling in level 2. But before that, let me just show you all of these palettes. I don't even know if I did that last year. Some of these are dusty. I'm sorry. That's just been a theme on my channel for the past few weeks. But in no particular order, just the order I have them stacked here. This is the, I'm not gonna keep saying Sephora. This is the I Love palette. It's Sephora did a lot of these like I Love collections for their eyeshadows. So this is one of them. This is when they were doing the like new, oh, you can, hopefully you didn't see that, all the mess on my, there's the mess on my desk. Anyway, This was from the year where Sephora did the kind of just neutral nude range of eyeshadows, and I bought the medium one. So this is called the medium cool eyeshadow palette. I'm not going to swatch these, but this is what's inside. I really do like this palette for travel, but I just noticed that like I have a bunch of palettes that I really like for travel, so I wasn't getting too much use on this. So I'm very excited to hopefully that one gets, I mean hopefully all of these get rolled in because I like them all. Then I have the two minis. These are kind of like they go with this larger one. This is the Mega Mix palette in the Color Story Wild Khaki Nude. And it just looks like, I guess I'll show you this one first. It looks like this, and you can actually slide, these panels. Why can't I do it? You can slide these panels in and out and kind of mix and match them with these, like you can mix them around between the larger palettes, but also they sold these like 3-pan palettes that you can also put in these. So I got 2 of these, but as for the larger palettes, I only got this one, which again is Wild Khaki Nude, and I really like this palette. It is so pretty. These are like my tones, which is why I bought this one out of all of them. And this is the largest palette out of all the palettes here. Then these are the 2 3-pan ones. This one is Grunge Green and this one is Ethereal Lilac. And this is what these two look like. This one is only a special shade palette. I usually don't wear too much blue, but because these are all kind of like special shades, I thought this would just be a nice companion palette. And then this one not only goes, or like you can mix and match any you want, but it goes really well with Wild Khaki Nude. I think it was meant to. And then it can also be a standalone palette because it has 2 mattes and a shimmer. But that's irrelevant because again, I'll be using these together for their own level if they're chosen. I have Disco Diva. This was from their like playlist line. I have 2 from this collection, and this one is like an all purple palette, but they're all like kind of unique purples. I really love this palette, but I don't use it too often. I think I've only used it like 3 times since buying it like maybe nearly 3 years ago now. I completely counted wrong. As always, I have 10 eyeshadow palettes from Sephora. The 10th one was this one here. It's the other one from the playlist line. It's the Blues Beauty. I love this one so much. I did take out the actual blue shade in this palette, so it's like no longer Blues Beauty, but I didn't really like that shade, and then it kind of died on me. Everything else in here I really like, especially the mattes. The mattes in this palette are so good. It's like my second favorite formula from Sephora. The other one I'll talk about next. But this matte formula from Sephora is so smooth. It's kind of like the Pat McGrath matte formula, which I also love so much. And I did hit pan in one of the shades. It took me over 100 uses. And then I have some really good dips in this shade and then this dark brown right here. So potentially I could hit another pan in here. We'll just see. But this was just a really good companion palette for me back in like 2024 when I was using this, and I just love it. The other palette that I really love that has the best formula from Sephora in my opinion is actually my first Sephora palette that I ever got. This is the I Love Bloom Dahlia palette. So it's from the Bloom collection, and for the Bloom collection, which came out I think in like, I think this was the 2022, yeah, 2022, because that's when I made my first Sephora purchase. This was the 2022 eyeshadow collection from Sephora, and all of these palettes they're all cream to powder shades in here, so every single shade in this palette is a cream to powder formula, and I'm not even kidding. The Sephora collection cream to powder formula that is in this palette is the best formula of eyeshadow I have ever tried among any brand. And they have put like their new cream to powder formula in these like minis and the larger like mix palettes, which was their 2025 release, but it's not the same as this one. This one is so good. So I just want to get more use out of this while I still can, because this was this is like my oldest palette in my collection at this point, and it's also like one of my favorites. This nearly won my palette tournament that I did in 2024, so I really need to use it more often. Then finally, I have the 2024 release from Sephora. I'm getting my years mixed up. But these are the Precious Gemstones palettes. I did have one more, which was the Pearl palette, but that one just went bad on me. The shades kind of died. And it also was like the least suited to my skin tone, but I decluttered that and I still have the other three. So this first one is the Jade palette, which is the green brown palette. So pretty. It has this nice like almost sage green shade in here, similar to the Disco Diva. It has like just a bunch of different greens that are all like different tones of green. Then we have the Titanium Quartz, which looks like this. This was definitely the most unique out of all of them from that release, because it has these purples in here but also a brown, and then this special shade right here, which is like kind of a turquoise iridescent shade. It's really pretty. I love it as a topper. Then we have the classic nude brown palette, which is the Pyrite palette, and this was definitely the one that was like most suited to my skin tone and most wearable. So if I got this for a very high level, I wouldn't be mad about it, because I could very easily wear this to work every day. It's even like, I mean, I'm wearing a Terra Moons palette on my eyes, so it's obviously going to be punchy, but this is the type of stuff that I usually wear to work. So those are all the Sephora collection palettes that I currently have, and now it's time to roll on my level 1. I already actually know, if you watch last year's, I roll my palettes ahead of time just because I don't like, I film on my phone, which is what I randomize on. So I already know which palette that I'm going to have for level 1, and that is actually kind of the perfect palette. It's the Blues Beauty from the Playlist line. There goes a bunch of dust. This only has 6 pans since I took, like, I had scraped the blue one out, so I'll have to use all 6 shades once, except for choose one shade in here to use 10 times. I still am not sure which shade that's going to be, but I think I'm gonna knock out the No Pan Left Behind goal first. But I'm very excited. I think these are really good neutral cool tones for the winter season that I will definitely be getting a lot of use out of. This can also be a really great companion palette, just starting out the year, kind of like seeing maybe what gaps are in my like collection, as far as, or like not collection, but what I have for panning. I think this would be a great filler if I am missing anything. So I'm actually very happy with my level 1 palette. I mean, I would have been happy with any of these because I absolutely love all of these palettes, but I think this was just best suited. So that is my introduction for my Project Level Up Lite for 2026. Sorry, I'm just looking at Rosie. Make sure to check out Sophie and Ruth, who again will be linked in the description box. But other than that, I will just see you in my next video, and until then, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye!